What's the difference between the Karcher K2 versus the K4? I'm going to talk about all the differences, but this is not very easy because there are many versions of the K2 and a few different versions of the K4 depending on which country you're at. First, I'm going to talk about the normal versions of the K2 and K4, and then I'm going to explain some of the differences between the different K2 versions and the K4 versions. Let's dive right in. So officially, Karcher says K2 is for beginners, K4 is for the advanced. Obviously, the K4 is more expensive and better, but the question is it worth it for you? So the K2 is for removal of light dirt and the K4 is for moderate dirt. I think one of the most important comparisons is the cleaning capacity. So according to Karcher, the K2 can clean up to 20 square meters or 200 square feet per hour, and the K4 can clean up to 30 square meters or 350 square feet per hour, basically 50% more. The K2 has the basic universal pressure washer pump, which is air-cooled, and the K4 has a water-cooled induction motor for exceptional durability. So there's a big difference between the K4 and the K2. So you can clean much more within the same time with the K4, and the motor is much more durable and has more power. By the way, below in the video description I have some online shopping links. If you plan on buying your Karcher online, please consider using my links, but more about this at the end of the video. Let's compare the technical data for the pressure washers. Here we have the power rating, 1400 watts for the K2 and 1800 watts for the K4. The power consumption is higher for the K4, of course. Comparing the pressure in bar for the K2, 20 to 110, and for the K4, 20 to maximum 130. There's a 20 bar difference, or if you're used to PSI, 300 to 1700 PSI, and the K4 has a maximum of 1900 PSI. The maximum flow rate in liters, here we have 6 liters per minute. For the K4, we have 7 liters per minute. In gallons, that's 1.4 gallons per minute and 1.5 gallons per minute. And the differences here might not sound very high, but remember you basically have to multiply the pressure difference by the water flow difference. The pressure and the water flow rate basically create the cleaning efficiency. So a little bit of change in the pressure and a little bit of change in the flow rate create big differences in the cleaning capacity. Then the high pressure hose for the K2 is smaller than for the K4. But it can depend on the different offers you're checking. Then the detergent application, K2 has a suction hose and the K4 has the plug and clean system. I'm going to show this in a minute. And then the weight without accessories, 4.1 kilograms or 11.4 pounds, and the K4 11.5 kilograms or 28.7 pounds. So the K4 is almost 3 times as heavy as the K2, and this has to do with a higher quality product, pump, motor, and so on. Let's compare the recommended application areas recommended by Karcher themselves. For the Karcher K2 high pressure washer, they recommend for bicycles, gardening machines and tools, garden terrace, balcony furniture. And for the K4, they also recommend it for fences, small garden paths or flagstones, motorcycles and scooters, small cars. So for the K2, they don't recommend for cars, but for the K4, they recommend it to clean cars with. But of course, if you check YouTube, there are many people checking the K2 for cleaning cars, but Karcher themselves don't recommend the K2 for cleaning cars. Let's compare the high pressure guns. The Karcher K2 high pressure models only come with a very simple high pressure guns, no displays or no special functions. Then the K4 offers the power control versions of the guns. I mean, there might be some offers with a very basic gun, but the K4 high pressure washer from Karcher can support the power control gun, which can show you the pressure level on the gun itself, so you always know with what kind of pressure you're working with. But even the K4 does not support the full control or the smart control, so you don't have guns where you can adjust the pressure on the high pressure gun itself, and also not on your smartphone. Here I have a picture of the detergent application. Here the K2 has this suction hose you can put into a bottle with detergent, and the K4 has the plug and clean system where you push the bottle from the top into the high pressure washer, and then the high pressure washer uses the detergent. Here are the different versions of the Karcher K2 pressure washers. The Universal is also available in North America. The K Mini is not available in North America, and I think the K2 battery is currently also not available in North America, by the way. The K Universal is very basic, much cheaper than the other versions, and I think you cannot adjust the pressure with this one. It has a maximum pressure of 110 bars or 1600 psi, but I think you cannot adjust the pressure. Then the K Mini, well, it's supposed to be a smaller, compact pressure washer for smaller houses or small apartments. The price is similar to the K Power Control. This is the normal version here. And then there's also a K2 battery high pressure washer from Karcher, which is, of course, much more expensive. Here also you have some special features on the gun where I think you can see the pressure on the gun. But as I said, I think this is not available in the US or Canada, but I think in the UK and Australia you can get this one. Then in the US they sell, in the US and China, they sell the Karcher K2 Entry, which is produced in China. The normal Karcher K2 is produced in Germany and some other versions maybe also in Italy, but the Karcher Entry is produced in China. Then for the K4 there are different versions, but if you're in the US or Canada, skip this part. So basically there's the compact version, and now 2023 there's a WCM, which stands for water-cooled motor version, but all versions of the K4 have a water-cooled motor, so the name is kind of a little bit strange. Yeah, in the UK and Australia currently they sell the compact. The WCM I think will be rolled out slowly, and the compact and the WCM versions are basically, and they're supposed to give the essentials of the pressure washer, but they're not as fancy as the normal one. So one big difference for the compact and WCM versions is the suction hose. They don't have this plug and clean system, but who knows, maybe you don't like the plug and clean system and you prefer the suction hose. And also the size, obviously the compact is a little bit smaller, the WCM version is a little bit more narrow, but the compact versions, they only have the basic pressure washer guns. So you don't have all the pressure gun control versions for those pressure washers. Maybe it's helpful to know some of the Karcher lingo. So if you have premium in the offer, that usually means there is a pressure hose reel. So no golden motor or no diamond pump, whatever. It only means there's a hose reel included. If it contains home, it doesn't mean it's specially for cleaning your apartment, but it means there's a surface cleaner included in the offer. And if it contains car, there can be a cleaning brush, which is also good for patio furniture. And sometimes it can also contain a foam nozzle for spraying foam on your car for cleaning purposes. That's it. What do you think? Which high pressure washer is the best for you? Let me know below in the comments which pressure washer you prefer, the K2 or the K4, and which versions of the K2 or K4. As I mentioned before, I have some online shop partner links below in the video description, and if you use those links I get a small commission. It has no downside for you, but it helps me to make these videos. But of course I would appreciate a thumbs up too, and of course you can subscribe to my channel totally free. Enjoy using your new high pressure washer.